Welcome to Clash from the Past. Old Man Clash here, talking Clash. Let's get started. Now the title of today's video is Why We Lost. Or, Why Did We Lose? Well, the reasons can be varied. Let's say for instance, you got a bad shuffle. They happen. I would argue that you can recover from them, but to be fair, sometimes a bad shuffle can put you in a hole that's hard to fight your way out of. Someone else might say in 2v2 mode, well, my deck didn't really pair with my partner's well, and to a degree that can be true, but one of the coolest things about 2v2 mode is that any two decks can beat two others. Some might have a harder go of it, but there's almost always a way. The question is whether you and your partner are going to be able to find it in a matter of minutes and sometimes even seconds. People also make mistakes. I make mistakes. Not often, but I do. And guess what? Today you're going to get to see one. Ooh, it's pretty big too. Well, it's not that big. I'm still forgiving myself for it, but I digress. The question after you make an error though is, can you recover from it? Or are you going to add one mistake on top of another until the next thing you know your castle is in ashes? Other games you might get outplayed. Two players just might have your go. That's the way it goes. And sometimes my partner and I can't get on the same page. So let's take a look at a loss. So this game opens up in a pretty pedestrian way. Our opponents start things off with a tombstone. And since I don't know what's alongside of that, I'm just going to drop my bomber in the back. Now my partner has a ghost and they drop it in. I like this here because the ghost can cloak. Not only that, it gets in front of the bomber, and that's a nice little combo. I also put down my musketeer in a spot that I'm really starting to like, right up at the bridge in the middle, because it can reach across the bridge and shoot on either side. And now we get to see their big boys. They drop the cannon cart and the Mega Knight right in on the left, but thankfully my partner has a P.E.K.K.A. It's a good spot for that. Stands up that Mega Knight, while in the back the Knight does a good job of nullifying cannon cart. We got the Golden Knight coming in. They throw in a miner, which is a bit too late, and the miner's going to attack our tower. Now my partner does something very cool here. They got a battle ram. So instead of engaging the miner, they decide I'm going to attack on the left, and it ends up being a great play. It gets through, it hits the tower. Although they dropped the Valkyrie, that's some pretty good damage up there. So success. And on the right, they drop the Goblin Gang, and we're pretty much at a standstill yet again, but we sort of got the best of it. Now they drop the Firecracker. I don't have arrows anymore, but my partner could use the Fireball up there. I'm glad they don't. 4 for 3 isn't great. On top of that, if you let the Firecracker down, it does you a favor, and it wakes up your back tower. Now the charge with the Golden Knight happens again, and down comes another cannon cart, which makes me think they might have two. You don't see two cannon carts very often, but this might be a game where there's going to be two of them, so that's interesting. Not something that intimidates me, but interesting. Thankfully, the Golden Knight's able to immobilize that cannon cart. So I decide to throw the giant. Here's my mistake right here. You see that musketeer that I put up there to help the ghost along with the magic archer? I put it within range of that cannon cart. I didn't think putting it there it would be in range, but it was. So while it does the job of taking out the magic archer, that cannon cart, which was destined to do nothing, erases my musketeer, and that's bad. Now they got their big boys, but we do know that our partner has their P.E.K.K.A. So this should be okay right here, along with the knight as well. And the magic archer in back, we have a nice little scrum right there, a little rugby scrum. Everyone's battling it out, and we're going to be able to negate it and get a push up on the left. So I decide let's two-side it here and bring it in together. And we got the giant coming in as well. Then comes what I think is sort of a strategic error by my partner, because you'll look on the left there, my partner says, well, now's the time to do that battle ram again that worked so good the first time around. The only problem I would say is that if you're feeling the flow of the game, you'll know that the Mega Knight is ready on their side. And they drop it right on top of that battle ram, basically turning it into nothing. It becomes a distraction up top, but it doesn't become the weapon that it was before, which is a shame. And we're a little stuck on the left now, too, with their miner and the berserker coming in, and they end up doing a little bit of damage there. And even though the P.E.K.K.A. is going to stand up crunchy, which is nice on that cannon cart, I don't really have anything to support it there. So they throw the magic archer down again. And since that threat's going in on the left, I'm going to go on the right. And now we have a big moment in the game, because they drop the tombstone, and they drop the Tesla. Now the cool thing here is my partner has a fireball, and I think they're going to throw it. They should throw it. My only beef is that I really think that Magic Archer in back is the target, because the 2 cards on the side right there are going to get to both defensive structures. But my partner instead chooses to throw that fireball right at those 2, which takes it out, but leaves the Magic Archer to clean up the rest. Yet again, we have a repeat of the Battle Ram coming down, that the Mega Knight dropping right on top of it. Our opponents do a really good job knowing the position we're in, and drop not 1, but 2 cannon carts right there, and that's going to be the death nail for us. Not to, spoiler alert, because both those things are coming in. We don't have a lot of elixir, and we got nothing to put in front of it. So therefore, even though the Electro Whiz comes down, they finish us off with both cannon carts. So that was a big fat loss. No big whoop, right? But I'll tell you what, in trying to become a better Clash Royale player, I found losses to be really helpful and informative, especially at the hands of good players like these 2 were. They did a good job. As much as I want to go, you rat bastards, I tip my cap, and I also go, hey, let's post-game this. Let's sit down and just quickly think through what happened, take some notes, and learn some lessons, because learning lessons is one way you become a good player, and it's definitely a way you become a really good player. And learning lessons too, just, you know, from an old man is one way you get better at life as well. So hey, thanks for stopping by and hanging out. I'll have a few more videos this weekend. I hope you stop in. So continue to clash on and continue to play hard. And with that, I will bid you an adieu and see you next time.